Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrea and this is Beauty with Andy. Thank you for joining me today. It really does mean an awful lot to me. So today's video is going to be another Free Looks One palette, but it's going to be with the last palette that I pulled for my Shop My Stash. I'm really looking forward to using this one. I like these Small Revolution Reloaded palettes, and I really did like the last one that we used together. So I just want to test this one out. There's one similar to this in my collection. I think that one's going to be getting decluttered. I think I'll keep this one, but I just need to make sure, and I'll declutter the other one because I don't need two eyeshadow palettes which is similar in tone, I don't think. So I think my mum would get great joy out of the other one that I've got in the collection. So yeah, this one is in the shades Velvet Rose. Yesterday I used this one, this Model Zone Blaze palette, and I've come to the conclusion I'm just going to declutter it. When I used it yesterday, the palette was even more of a mess than when I used it originally. When I was doing the swatches at the end, you'll see anyway, when I was doing the swatches at the end, this haul became even bigger here. So that one's going to get decluttered when I do my eyeshadow palette declutter. But we're not going to be talking about that now. So for now, let's get into this one. Okay, so let's just tie my hair back, otherwise it'll be all over the place. Looking like the Lion King again with all this curly hair. Right. So, I'm just going to use this concealer again just because it's handy from yesterday. It's quite a good one to use as an eyeshadow base, but also to use as concealer. It's very hydrating. I do want to try the e.l.f. one though, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. But I don't need concealers at the moment, so it is pointless buying any. To me, that is just a waste of money, buying something when you don't actually need it. Right, I've lost my other sponge, my smaller sponge. I'm sure it's somewhere around here, but just use this one then. Oh, that's good. It has a cream ivory shading. I hate it when palettes bring palettes out and they don't have a cream ivory shading. That's just me. A lot of people don't mind it, but that makes a good brow bone highlight as well. It's not just for the base, but I use it for the base, so like the other transition shades, sorry, the other crease shades will go on really nicely. And I haven't even looked at this palette, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Story of my life. I think this gold I want to save right up until the last look, because that looks like a really nice one. Okay, let's go in with this shade here. It's like kind of like a lavender brown, so let's just wipe my Smashbox brush off. Not too much fallout, which is nice. So tired today guys, I really didn't sleep at all last night. I'm getting sick of it now, and I don't know when I'll hear from my consultant, just because of this whole thing that's going on. So I could be waiting months now. So now I guess we'll go in with this darker brown down here. They don't have names on. That is my only pet peeve so far with this palette. I like a palette to have names on. Oh, that's pigmented. Let's wipe this brush off a little bit so we can blend it out a bit. Just kind of taking it halfway in to contour the eye a little bit. Like that. It's really pigmented, that brown. This palette is a really good palette for that everyday eye look. Very quick and simple. Right, I'm gonna put that cream ivory shade on the brow bone now. I think I'm gonna go in with this rose gold one here. It's smooth, but it's also a little bit chunky, so I don't know how this is going to play out. I might have to wet it as well, get a bit more pigment. There's fallout, can you see there? Just to get rid of the fallout. That's better. So yeah, we're going to go in with that rose gold shade on the other eye as well. It's a really beautiful shade, but I do want to get it more metallic, so this is why we're going to wet the brush. And again, I've been using this side of the Smashbox one, so I'm just going to kind of clean that off. Just need my spray. We're just going to go in with the Primark Glow Intensity one. Finally found a way of using it other than on my face, so yeah, it makes a good spray for the eyeshadows. That's really pretty. My battery is flashing, so we'll have to change that in a minute. Oh yeah, I really like that. Let's blend them in a little bit better than that though. I do love a good rose gold eyeshadow though, so I'm not surprised I like it. Oh yes. Right. Oh no, we need an inner corner highlight. Let's try and use this one here. There's only really two, from what I can see. There's only two that you can use as an inner corner highlight, which is that one there and then that one there, which is even more golden tone, so I guess it would be that one. And then if you've got darker skin tones, obviously this one would work as a brow bone highlight. It works for me as well, and it helps clean the eyeshadows up if you've made a little bit of a mistake, which I sometimes go a little bit heavy on the eyeshadows, so it works really well for me. But yeah, really like that, I have to admit. Right, so let's take this eyeshadow off now, and then we can jump into look number 2. So again, I'm just using the micellar cleansing water to take it off in a big cotton oval pad. Very refreshing. Right, so I've put the concealer down, I've put the cream ivory shade down as well. So for the crease shade, I think I'm going to be using this one. It's like a mid-toned brown, I would say. Right, that banging is coming from my neighbours, and they are continuously banging, so don't mind that. Don't know what they're doing up there. It's been going on for months. And not only does it happen during the day, which you wouldn't mind because it's not really disturbing the piece if it's during the day, it's ongoing throughout the evening and early hours as well, which again really pisses me off. I think I'm going to use this brown this time. We used that one last time. This one's slightly more red toned. Right, so again, just in the outer V, and then working it into to about halfway. Oh my god! And it appears that there is no great time to film these days, since this whole they're at home more, so they're basically doing what they please, and I wouldn't mind, but there's 3 other people that live in these flats, so you know, you'd think that they would consider the neighbours a little bit more. I have spoken to him on several occasions. He says he'll sort it out, and we're back to square one, so he's just choosing to ignore me, basically. And people say to me, why don't you move? Well, because why should I? You know, I've actually lived here longer than he has, and you know, it cost a lot of money to move in here, and I'm not going to be moving anywhere. No siree. Right, we're just going to use some of this cream ivory shade again, just on the brow bone. I'm feeling like I've got something in my eye. Right, so that's like a gold, but it looks, maybe I could use both of them. Yeah, let's try and do a bit of a halo eye. Right, so we'll use the bronze one in the inner portion of the eye and the outer portion, and then we'll go in with this in the middle, or we'll try to. Right, I'm going to try and use it with my fingers. Doesn't always work when you're doing it kind of like a halo eye, but that brush, the Smashbox one, is still wet, so it wouldn't give a true interpretation of what the eyeshadow looks like, which is what I want. I want to see how pigmented it is before I actually go in with a wet brush. And that is pretty pigmented. Right, so now we're going to go in with this one. I don't think this is pigmented at all. Feels kind of like crumbly, and yeah, I'm really having to build up the colour. Right, now we're going to go in with this brush, this Smashbox one. I'm going to use the other side. And we're going to use the bronze. Got to be really gentle, I'm not going into that gold. Right, and then I need to find a different brush for the gold. Okay, so we'll use this one. I got this one from Wilko like quite a while ago, so let's give this a little bit of a, and then we'll go back into the gold. Not much appears to be on that. Oh yes, coming to life now, guys. That is what we're looking like. That is really nice. Right, so we need to go in with the other eye. So first of all, we're putting the bronze on my finger. So now I've used that gold, there really is only one shade in here to use as an inner corner highlight. That might bother people, because that inner corner highlight is I think these palettes are pretty good value for the money. From what I can gather so far, the mattes are a lot nicer than the shimmers. The shimmers feel a little bit crumbly to the touch, but the mattes are very, very smooth. After I've done this, I'm just going to change the battery. So it really is flashing at me now. Right, and then we'll go in with the gold, just on the finger first of all. Right, and then we'll get this brush again here. So how's everyone all doing? I hope you're okay. Such worrying times, isn't it? Just going to go in again with the bronze shade. Then we'll blend them out a little bit. It looks more bronzy, even though I've like put on the same eyeshadows. Let's go in with a bit more of that gold. Looks way more bronzy. going again on this side. So that is look number 2 finished. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my base and everything on off camera, because you've seen that. So you saw that on the Model Zone video that I did, so you don't really need to see it again. No products will have changed. So I'm going to be using the same products. Any different products that I do use, I will come and do it on camera. Because I think I'm going to be using this again. So I really don't know. I mean, this blusher, these box blushers cost a fortune by Benefit, and that one cost £26, and I want to be sure that that one really doesn't work for me until I declutter it. And yeah, I'm still working on these blushers and seeing if I want to keep them. There's quite a few of the box blushes that I do want to keep, so like some of the face I will come back and show you, and we'll go through the applying stage and all that. But yeah, for the most part I'll be putting my makeup on off camera and only showing you what you've not already seen in the Model Zone video and other videos that I've done this week. So yeah, this is again look number 2. Really like it. I think I liked the first look better though, the rose gold one. So we're going to go in and do look number 3 now. Right, so I've got everything on, like face products, apart from blush and highlight. And like I said earlier, I really do want to give this blush the benefit of the doubt. It's Havana, it's from Benefit. So yeah, let's get a blush brush and let's give it another shot. Right, I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics 113 brush, completely no product on it, and we're going to see how much product actually comes from it. So it's not my favourite blush in this palette, to be honest. I don't know why I got that. I think it was my first ever blush. See, it's not the most pigmented on the brush. I think it was my first ever blush by Benefit, and I was kind of talked into it by the sales rep because she put this blush on. I just don't see it on the cheek. If I'm not getting joy out of it, why continue to use it? I mean, you can see it a little bit on the brush, and obviously, oh, it's building up. It is building up. You just need to go in about 2 or 3 times to actually build it up to the colour that you want. Right. I just still don't know if I want to keep it, guys. Now that I know it does build up, I could keep it and just trial it a little bit longer, because I really haven't used this blush at all. So I don't know whether to do that. Right, highlighter, we're just going to use this little brush. Let's put it through the colour switch, and I'm going to be using this highlighter here. So it's from the Tanya Bear palette. I think it was the Rosy Glow one that she brought out. And I think I do want to keep this one. It's a really nice highlighter, but I'm just going to test it anyway. Probably way too much highlight. It's got a little bit of glitter in this. Not too much that I would say I don't want you anymore. But, right, so yeah, the highlighter did have a little bit of glitter in it, but not too much that I would say no, I don't want to keep you in the collection. The Havana blusher, I'm like this, I'm on the fence with it. I mean, it is looking glowy, so that's the kind of blush that I normally use. It's completely a matte blush, but it looks glowy on the skin. I think we're going to try it until I do my blush declutter, and if I still don't really like it, then it's going. So it's kind of on the chopping block. Right, so now what we're going to do is go in with this Cream Ivory shade again all over the eyelid. I've already put concealer down on my eyelid. Right, so what mattes do we want to use? I know for sure I want to use this one. I really like it. But maybe going with this one first that I used in the previous look. What do you guys think of these palettes? Do you like them? I had one last week Can't remember which one it was. It was this one. I used this one last week, and this one was Passion for Colour, and it absolutely stinks, guys. Oh, it really smells quite badly, but I want to keep it for the colour story. This one doesn't smell of anything, but yeah, I couldn't believe it, and like in the video I was like, what's that smell? But yeah, it was that palette. Yeah, so the palettes that I've tried so far from this brand, well, Revolution, in this collection, I have really enjoyed. There's just one that is really similar. Let me show you. I'm slightly going off this. Right, so we've got this one. I've not used it yet. This one is the Affection, and then this one is the Velvet Rose. So let's do it like that. Actually, no. Let's open them up and try and show you. So they're pretty similar, aren't they, guys? So the one on top is Velvet Rose, which I'm using now, and then this one is Affection, which I haven't used at all by the looks of things. I mean, Affection has definitely got more shimmers in it. It's only really got 1 or 2 mattes. So I don't know, I might keep it for that fact that you've got more choice with the shimmers. Right, let's get back into this makeup look. Right, now we're going to go into this lavender shade here. And these palettes are great startup palettes. Just if you don't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes in your kits, it's just really good for that, just because they're so inexpensive. They're £5. So you can get, you know, you can like get a neutral and a colourful one for what you would pay for one Revolution eyeshadow palette. So that's really good. But a lot of them are just so similar, or they look so similar. Let's put some more of that Cream Ivory shade on the brow bone. I don't know whether to use another matte in the inner corner. No, I'm just going to leave it as it is and then go in with this shimmer shade here. It looks, yeah, it's really chunky. This one is one of those ones that really should be applied with a glitter glue on. I mean, it's a gorgeous shade, don't get me wrong. We're going to wipe this. I'm just going to put it on with my fingers first. This eyeshadow that I'm using is probably one of the nicest ones in the palette, apart from that rose gold one, and it's the most chunkiest one. It's like it's got glitter in it as well. It's just, I wouldn't mind if it was that smooth. That's on it now. Let me show you how it's looking. Can you see the chunks in it? I don't know if that's going to show up on the eye, but it definitely has quite big chunks in it. Right, let's get my brush. I'm going to put it through the colour switch. Take all the product that I used earlier off it, and then we'll wet it with this. It's looking really metallic, which is what we want. And for lips, I'm really feeling red. I think I've only got one red lipstick. And that's my Urban Decay Wonderland, and it is such a stunning lipstick. I'll have a look in a minute. I think I pulled that Kitten Heels one as well, the NYX one. I'm not 100% sure on it, so I might potentially wear that one. Oh yeah, that looks good. Literally got stuff everywhere on this table. once you put your camera on, like the vanity, there is no room for anything. I always like, once mascara's on, I feel like the eyes really come together more than they did before. This is why I just couldn't live without a mascara. And I've only got this one, so I definitely need to get a new one soon. I mean, push comes to shove, I've got at least another 4 months with it, so it's not like I'm in crisis of needing a mascara, but yeah, I do need to get one, at least one more. Oh, there's fallout there from the glitter. Right, so I'm just going to put some of these shades under the lash line. I'm going to go in with a shade first. I'm going to use this brush actually. I've not used this for a while. Oh, I've gone in with the wrong shade. We'll just use this one then. This lavender one. Right, so what I should have done is gone in with this one first and then that one over the top, but it doesn't matter. We're going to use this gold shade here as inner corner highlight, which I think, yeah, it's too similar to what I'm wearing on the eyes. It's very similar. Let's get that face palette I was using before, and what we'll do is we'll take this one and put that over the top. So the bronzer I used was just the Chanel one. What I used in the Model Zone video, the Tan de Soleil Universal Bronzer. That's why I didn't come on camera and show you which one it was. Right, so now, just lipstick. Yeah, I thought I pulled this one out, so we're just going to use this one instead of the Urban Decay Wonderland one. I know I really like Wonderland and I can always keep that in for another month if I want to. This one is on the chopping block, so let's go in with this. Right guys, so this is the finished look. I really like how it turned out. I really like the gold in here, but it is crumbly. I think what I'm going to do is I'll do some swatches so you can see it for yourself. I've not used obviously all the eyeshadows, so we'll do some swatches like I did in the Model Zone. I'll do them off camera and then just show you what they look like on my hand. So let's get into the swatches. Right, so this is the lovely palette again. So in the palette, I've just looked at it, there are 5 shimmers and 10 mattes. I feel like Revolution could have given a little bit more shimmers, like 7 shimmers and like 8 mattes, just because, yeah, I feel like more is needed in the shimmer stake for me personally. But it is a really nice palette. So they're the shimmers on, sorry, they're the first 5 row, first row 5 eyeshadows. So let's just go through it. Well, the cream ivory shade, you can't see, it's the same colour as my skin tone, so you can't see that. It's really nice for all over the eyes, and then also like as a brow bone highlight. This here is really gorgeous. I'm wearing that on the lid today, but it is like Fallout City and it is very crumbly. This here is 2 swatches. It's almost like it's an eyeshadow topper rather than an actual eyeshadow. Then we've got this dark brown matte here, which is this one here, which doesn't look too bad in the swatch. I don't think I've used that matte. Doesn't look too dark and you can blend it out quite well, which is nice. Then the next one up is one of my favourite mattes in the palette, which is like a lavender cool tone brown, which is that one there. And then the final one is this gold one that we use for the inner corner highlight, which is that one that is not really pigmented at all. That's the only problem with it. So out of that top row, I would say I do like this one. I definitely like that. I'm glad that that's in there for obviously the brow bone and all over the lid. And I do like this lavender toned brown there. This here, I would have preferred a lighter colour in, just so it looks a little bit better. Like you saw earlier, when I use this shade here, you can't really use that as an inner corner highlight as well, because it just looks too golden in my opinion. So I went in with a different highlighter from a different palette. So now let's get into the second row of swatches. Right, so this is the second row of swatches, so just this middle row here. Right, so the first one is this like kind of like really dark brown matte eyeshadow, so that's that one there. Right, and then we've got this like peachy orange tone shade. Not too sure I like it, to be honest, but I haven't tried it on the eyes, so I'd need to do that first before I criticised it and said no, I don't like it. So maybe tomorrow I'll use that one, which is this one here. Then we're going into the shimmers. Really like this pretty rose gold shade. It looked amazing all over the lid, so that's that one there. So I use that in look 1. Then we've got this bronzy shade here, which I also used in look 2. That one there, that's also very stunning. And then we've got this one here, which I've been using and I really enjoyed using as well, and that one is down there. So yeah, out of this one, I really do like the two shimmers there, the rose gold and the bronzy shimmer, and then I do like this as well. I've not tried these, so I can't say yay or nay to these, but I will keep you informed on it. Right, and then we're going on to the last row. Right, now we're just on this last row here. Right, so we're starting off with this gold shade. I did use this when I used this bronze shade, so I used the bronze on the outer portion and inner portion of the eye, and I used that in the middle, and it looked really pretty. It's not the most pigmented gold that you'll ever find in an eyeshadow palette. To be honest, with this entire eyeshadow palette, it's not the best formula that I've ever used, but for £5, what do you expect really? I feel like my W7 Social, can't remember the name of it, I'll get the name and leave it here, Social palette is better than this one, and that was £5.99, but it originally retails at £11.99. But I do like it. I'm not saying I don't like it, and it's a great everyday palette if you don't have much makeup in your collection, like we were saying earlier, and you can get the eyeshadows to work. It's not like they're patchy or anything like that. They blend out really well, but the texture of them isn't the same across the board, and I know it's not going to be with the darker shades, because they are a little bit harder to make than the more shades like this, which are lighter. So anyway, this one is really crumbly, but not as crumbly as that one, but that one has got more pigmentation to it, so I do like that one more. I think that's got glitter in it. I mean, it's not showing any glitter particles, but like when I put it on my eye, it just looked really glittery. So anyway, we've got that one, which is this one here, and then we've got this brick toned red, which is that one, and I actually used that one, and then we've got a darker brown there, so that's that one. I think that's about as dark as I would ever go for an eyeshadow, and it would make a really good lash line and outer V eyeshadow. Then we've got another brown here, that's quite a good one for not transition, for crease, for the crease. Yeah, so that's that one. And then we've got this black here, and that does have like specks of glitter in it. My eyes itchy. That has specks of glitter in it, which isn't me at all. I don't use black anyway, and I certainly wouldn't use a black with glitter in it. So that is all the eyeshadows from the third and final row. I do like the palette, don't get me wrong. I do think Revolution have come out with better eyeshadow palettes than this. I mean, this is one of the newer ones. It's certainly one of the newer ones in my collection, from the Revolution Reloaded. So in a way, I am a little bit disappointed with the formula, but you can make it work for yourself, like I said. I mean, I certainly have made that work for me personally. That is a really nice eyeshadow, and yeah, I think I'm going to keep it for now because there are a lot of shades in here that I would like to use again. I would be very curious to see how it compares against this one. I think I'm going to bring this in on Monday. I think I'll bring this one in, and then the Tammy Clark, what's it called? Never used this yet. I got it for Christmas. This Tammy Clark Revolution Tropical Carnival Shadow Palette. I think I'll bring this one in as well, and we can have some fun playing with neutrals and also colourful eyeshadows next week. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. It really means a lot that you've clicked on the video. Please like it because it really does help out the channel. If you've not already subscribed, I would love it so much if you would become part of my little family and subscribe. So just click that subscribe button down below and click the notifications bell, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.